Hola mi gente, welcome to my channel. So I want to show you how I make this chicken lasagna. This came out so good and it's so easy to put together. So let's get started. Alright guys, so we're going to start with some clean boneless chicken thighs that I clean with water and vinegar and I pat it dry very well. I went in and I added just a little bit of oil and then I start seasoning this out with salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder. I also use some adobo, sazon completo, cumin, and then you're going to add some dry thyme. Make sure you grind that thyme in between your hands to release the flavor. You're going to get this a nice mix, make sure everything is well incorporated into the chicken, and then you can let this marinate for a couple of hours, so you can let this marinate overnight. I'm just going to let it sit until I'm ready to use it. Alright guys, so I have here some water boiling with chicken bouillon and salt, and this is for my lasagna. So I'm just going to go ahead and start cooking it really quick. So you're just going to add your lasagna cheese right in there. Make sure everything is submerged in the water, and you're going to cook this according to the box instructions. Now I have a tray here that I light up with some foil, and this is for my lasagna cheese. So now they are done, I'm going to go ahead and take them out of the water, and I'm just going to lay it in the cheese. I'm going to put parchment paper in between, and I love doing this because I just do this. It's just to get it out of the way. You can go ahead and put this in your fridge and you can use this so whenever you're ready. Alright guys, so the next thing we're going to do is the bechamel sauce. So I'm melting some butter in my pot that I have on medium low heat. I went in and I added my flour, and then I'm just going to whisk this in so I don't see no more white. You want to make sure you also cook your flour for about 2 minutes because you don't want that taste in your sauce. Once your flour looks like this, you're going to start adding your cold milk. And then I like to do this little by little because I really want to work the flour in. I really want to cook that flour because that taste is no good. So I'm just whisking this while adding my milk in so you don't see no more lumps. Now we're going to go ahead and season this out with salt, pepper, and nutmeg. Now the nutmeg is optional, but it's highly, highly recommended. Now we're going to whisk this together, and then you're just going to go ahead and just cook it into your desired consistency. Now I like mine to look like this. If you think this is too thick for you, you can just add a little bit more milk, but my sauce is ready. Make sure you taste it to your liking. Alright guys, so now we're ready to cook. I have my pot heating up on medium high heat. I added some oil, get the oil nice and hot, and I'm gonna start adding my boneless chicken thighs. So the only thing we're gonna do here, guys, we're just gonna sear this up. We're not gonna cook it all the way yet. So you're just gonna sear this for like 3 minutes per size. And mi gente, if you have your boneless chicken thighs in the fridge, make sure you take it out so it can come at room temperature before you start doing this process. So this is what you're looking for. You're looking for a nice, beautiful sear on this chicken, and this is how we're gonna start to be a flavor. So now that all my chicken is nice and seared, I'm gonna put it to the side until I'm ready to use it. Alright guys, so now in the same pot, we're gonna saute some onions. So I have here one Spanish onion. You can use anything you have, and then you're just gonna saute them until they look like this. At this point, you're going to add your chopped garlic, and you're going to saute your garlic for 30 seconds. At this point, you should be able to smell the goodness that's happening in that pot, and then you're going to add tomato paste. Saute your tomato paste for about a minute, and then you're going to add white wine. You can add any white wine that you like. As you add in this, make sure you're stirring it around and neglecting the bottom of your pot. Alright guys, so after you add your wine, you're just going to let it cook for a little bit. And then we're going to add 1 can of hot tomatoes, and then we're going to add some tomato sauce. We're going to give this a mix. Make sure you're scraping the bottom of your pot as you go. We're going to season this up pretty much with the same seasonings we used to season the chicken minus the cumin. So we're going to do salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, a little bit of adobo, a little bit of sazon completo. And then we're going to add some dry thyme. I'm also going to go in with some dry basil and dry parsley. This is going to give us such a good taste. If you have fresh basil, please go ahead and use it, or fresh parsley, you can go ahead and use it. But I'm just going to add my dry herbs, give this a nice mix, and I'm going to add some sugar. The sugar is very good here, guys, because it's going to balance the acidity on the tomatoes. So now you're just going to give this a mix, bring down your flame to medium, and then you're going to cover this up and allow it to cook for about 20 to 25 minutes. Now, after 25 minutes, we're going to give this a mix. Make sure also, guys, you mixing it around during that time. So after the 25 minutes, I'm gonna go ahead with a potato smasher and just smash down those big whole tomatoes. And then this is gonna thicken up your sauce and it's just gonna make it so good. So after that, you're gonna add your chicken. So for my boneless chicken thighs, I just went in and I cut it into small cubes. And now I'm gonna give this a nice mix. I'm gonna add 2 bay leaves and then you're gonna give this a mix again. And then you're gonna cover this up. So we're only gonna cover it just for a little bit so the chicken can really cook through for about like 5 to 6 minutes. And then after that, mi gente, you get this chicken and tomato sauce. This came out so good. You can put this on top of anything. All right, guys, so now we're going to start to put everything together. So make sure you preheat your oven at 375 and then grab your casserole dish. So the first thing you're going to do, you're going to add some of that delicious bechamel sauce right on the bottom of your casserole dish so it doesn't stick. And then you're going to go in with your lasagna. And then we're going to add our chicken and tomato sauce that we made, guys. I know I said this before, but I'm going to say it again. You can add this on anything. That mixture that we just made, that filling, oh my God, it tastes delicious. So after adding that, you're going to go ahead with your bechamel sauce and make sure you spread it all around, all right? Make sure that sauce is on every corner. And then we're going to go in with our mozzarella cheese. I like to grate my own cheese. I just think it tastes better. And then that's it. Now all you're going to do is repeat the same process again. All right, guys, so now I'm just working on my top layer. So I just gonna make sure everything is nice and covered, and then we're gonna add our bechamel sauce. And then we want to make sure you spread that all around. And this is how we're going to finish this up, all right? So you're going to add a bechamel sauce. You're going to add your mozzarella cheese. So I recommend grating your own cheese because, mi gente, it's going to taste so good and it's going to melt so nicely. Also, if you have Parmesan cheese, feel free to add it. I just ran out of mine. So after adding your cheeses, you're going to go ahead with some dry parsley and dry basil. And I'm also going to add some red pepper flakes. And this is just to make it look pretty and give it also a nice pop of flavor on the top. So at this point, you can go ahead and cover this up and put it in your fridge and bake it so whenever you're ready to use it. But me hand that one in and I bake mine right away. And I'm baking for 20 to 25 minutes until the top look like this. And it looks perfect. It smells amazing. So remember, everything inside is already cooked. So you're just allowing the ingredients to get to know each other and that top to look like this beautiful golden brown. So you're going to let it rest just into, for about 10 to 15 minutes just so the flavors can really settle down and it doesn't fall apart when you cut it. But mi gente, let me show you how good this chicken lasagna looks. It looks perfect. And girl, you already have dinner for the next day because the leftovers are so, so good. Mi gente, thank you so, so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this video and buen provecho.